What's going on, people? Back with a bang. This is the Money Management, here to bring you guys my week 24 results on my 0 to 100k challenge. Now in today's video, it's going to be something different to the usual 100k challenge videos. I'm going to be showing you guys a few different interesting things I did this week, some stocks to look at going into next week, a couple of different contracts I flipped this week, and how I purchased some shares of a very hyped stock right now. So we're going to dive into all of that in just a second, but first thing I'd like to say is a couple of things. Please do drop the thumbs up, the comments, the shares, and of course subscribe if you're new around here. Also, I have been away for about 9 or 10 days, so hopefully you guys have not all disappeared and gone off somewhere. And yes, I am going to be getting a cut soon, so I know you've noticed the hair. But now let's talk about a few different things. Again, there's those 4 things I mentioned. One, how my week went. We're going to briefly touch on that, but not going to go into it too much. We're also going to touch on the interesting trade I made, the other shares I bought, and of course, lastly, what to look for going into next week. Now, keep in mind that I might make a separate video of the stocks to watch for next week and go into a little bit more detail about them. But let's start off today by talking about how my week went in the 0 to 100k challenge. So this week, it was a difficult week. It was a bit of a choppy week. The market didn't go as well as I had liked it to go, but it went better than it could have gone. And at the same time saying that, it also finished worse than I thought it would finish. So yeah, like I said, all those things, but I actually finished the week down to about 2.6k, 2.7k, thereabouts, closer to the high end 2.6ks. So it wasn't the best week. And yeah, also last week I do want to highlight, I did not make a video on week 23, but I was also down that week about 6k. So it's back-to-back red weeks. But bear in mind that I'm going to explain a couple interesting things in a second. So yeah, this week I finished the week down. A lot of my stocks were down overall, and it also had me thinking a couple of different things. One, I might start selling a few of my stocks and shares and pivot into some other plays. And 2, I might actually go and deposit some money next week, maybe 2 or 3k. But now that's out of the way, the results, being down the week, now that's out of the way. Let's talk about something very interesting. Let's talk about how I was able to purchase 100 shares of AMC today at a price point of $40 per share. Now, just to put into context, about 2 weeks ago, I had a $31 call option for AMC, and actually while I was live streaming, I planned to exercise to buy those 100 shares. What happened was, an hour before market close, I did not have the buying power in my portfolio because I did not sell out of another AMC contract, which we're going to discuss in a second. And I ended up losing my call options for AMC. Of course, I made a profit, but that's not what I'm talking about. That's not what I'm worried about here. I lost my right to buy 100 shares of AMC at $31. Now this time, I went into this week with 2 AMC contracts, both of which were for $40 calls. Now, I knew that I wanted to exercise my right to buy these contracts at $40 because AMC is sitting in the $60 range. So if I buy shares of AMC at $40, yes, it means I'm getting a discount because AMC shares are currently sitting at $60. So Wednesday came around. Wednesday, about an hour before market close, and I realized, hey, we're getting a bit close to, expiry date, which is going to be Friday, which was today. And I do not even have anywhere near the money which I'm going to need to exercise the contracts for an AMC. So I thought to myself, how am I going to do this? I had about $300 in buying power at that point, but I did know that I had 2 AMC contracts for $40 calls. Now, like I mentioned, I had these from a few weeks back. So the first thing I did was check what AMC contracts I had and what price point they were going at. Now, with both my AMC contracts, I bought them around $570, and both of those were sitting around $1,800 on Wednesday afternoon. So the very first thing I did was find some plays which could potentially bring me to the right amount of money to buy 100 shares of AMC at $40, which would obviously cost $4,000. So just to sum it up, I had about $360 buying power in my portfolio on Wednesday, and I needed to have $4,000 by Friday. And in the meantime, I needed to find a play which is going to bring me enough money to make that happen. So I looked around and I looked at stocks like DraftKings, I looked at stocks like Fuel Cell, I looked at some stocks like AMC again, and maybe buying another call option on AMC. I looked at Workhorse. I also looked at Amazon. Now, as you guys know, Amazon Prime Day is coming up very soon, and usually leading up to Prime Day, Amazon does usually run. Now, Amazon was sitting around the $3,380 range when I looked at it, and I thought, you know what? Let's have a look at the call options. The call options were extremely expensive at the money, so I had to go pretty far out the money. So I looked and I saw, okay, there were some $3,500 call options, which were pretty expensive, but just about affordable if I could sell one of my AMC options. So I sold one of my contracts for AMC just around $1,700 or $1,800. And that gave me the funds to purchase one $3,500 call option, which would cost me $1,720. So I bought this. I also alerted the group, the Discord, about this. And basically what we needed to happen was Amazon needed to hit $3,500 by today. Now, long story short, today Amazon hit $3,505. So we were in the money. My call options with Amazon went from being around $1,700 to $5,000. So I had more than doubled my money, and it was pretty good. It was a pretty good feeling. Now, you guys know me. When it comes to these kind of trading strategies, sometimes I do not execute. This time I made sure to execute. I sold my Amazon call option, which I had purchased for $1,720. I sold that for about $4,500. And to not make the same mistake I made 2 weeks ago, I used $4,000 to execute on my AMC option, the one contract I have remaining. Now I'm going to put that up on the screen so you guys can see it as well. But I did the job. I got the job done, and I bought 100 shares of AMC today at $40 per share. Now the funny thing is, I was happy with this and I was excited, but I think back to January where I looked at AMC in the $2.20 range, and this is when fuel cell was around $15, and I thought, which one do I want to buy? I thought, I'm going to buy 100 shares of fuel cell. I was looking at AMC thinking, they've let off employees, this is a $2.20 stock, it's pretty much a penny stock, no real bright future. I'm going to go for fuel cell, and I bought 100 shares of fuel cell, but I just left out the AMC. If that day I had bought 100 shares of AMC, well, who knows where I'd be right now. I'd have about, 2,000% gains or something, or even more than that, 3,000% gains. But that wasn't to happen, but either way. Now I picked up my 100 shares of AMC at $40. The good thing is, AMC is sitting around the $58, $59 range right now, so I'm almost up 50% on my shares. That is why I executed on my option, that's why I exercised my option, and I'm happy with that trade. Now, you guys know AMC is one of those stocks which is pretty volatile, so it could be back to $45 next week, but I do not see it going back to the $40 range, maybe less than that. I don't see that happening anytime soon. So I feel pretty good about my 100 shares of AMC, and now I own 100 shares of AMC, which cost me a price point of $40 per share. So now let's look at 5 different stocks, or I'll mention 5 different stocks to watch going into next week. So the first one, Ashford Hospitality Trust, ticker symbol AHT. So this kind of sold off to the end of the week, and the reason I'm looking at it is because the last time it did this kind of sell off, and the similar pattern to what it's doing right now, was last week, and after that happened, it started to shoot up. So I don't know when we're going to see AHT in the $10 range, maybe more than that. I don't know when that's going to happen, but I'm definitely looking at to see what happens next week, because there's, patterns repeat themselves when it comes to stocks, and I do think something similar will happen. So AHT is on my watch list. Second of all, Palantir, ticker symbol PLTR. Now this ended the week just above $25, and if it can hold here, I think long term it has great potential, but also just this summer. It sold off in the past 3 or 4 months, it sold off heavily, and I think we can see it back in the $40 range within the next few months. So keep your eyes out on Palantir. 3, DraftKings, a similar story. DraftKings is now the high 40s, 48, 49 range. About 2-3 months ago, it was around $63, $65, and it sold off heavily since then, but it still has plenty of room to run. 4, of course, AMC. Now, the reason I want to look at AMC is because, yes, I own shares now, but these options have done very well, apart from that one option that we bought, on the same day expiry. These options have done very well for me in the past couple months. So I'm going to keep my eyes out on AMC, see what it does next week. If it drops to the $55, $52 range, then I will be buying some call options, maybe a week out, maybe 2 weeks out, I'll have to see. But that one is one that you need to keep watching, because not only is it a meme stock, but it's one that's being heavily shorted, heavily squeezed. So you need to keep your eyes out to see what happens, because who knows, next week AMC could hit $100, and then your call options will rip. So that's one to just look out for as well. And lastly, Amazon, ticker symbol AMZN. Now you guys know I've traded this week, it brought me a lot of money, but leading up to Prime Day, I do see a lot of Amazon call options which are going to continue to run. But how far are they going to run? That is why Amazon is in my 5 stocks to watch for next week. Because if Amazon doesn't run, I could see some opportunities to buy some puts on it. Go and look at what Amazon did leading up to Prime Day last year. Go and look at the year before. And honestly, maybe you want to set your calendars to check what it does next year. So Amazon, I'm going to be watching closely to see if the stock price does hold around $3,500, or if the sell-off does come. Because if the sell-off does come and see it back in the $3,300 range, $3,200 range potentially, then you can make a lot of money with the put options. The same way that I made a lot of money with the call options, the same way you can make a lot of money with the put options if Amazon goes the other way. So do be sure to check out those stocks and hopefully make yourself some money. A couple others just to keep your eyes on: Workhorse, Apple, Tesla, NIO. I'll give you guys those as well. Hopefully I can make another video breaking down some stocks to watch next week, with mainly the stocks I just mentioned today. Tattooed Chef and Fubo are also some to watch, but we don't want to go into all those today. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this little breakdown, this kind of different video. Again, it was a tough week, but I'm happy with what I've done. I think building up for long term, it's looking good. We're still just around halfway there on the 0 to 100k challenge. I do think that we will get this job done sooner rather than later, but we'll just keep going, keep doing what I've been doing, and hopefully make the best of this journey. So thank you guys so much for watching today's video. Make sure you guys check out all those links. We've got the stock option starter pack, we've got the Discord. Yes, the Discord, the premium content in Discord is $15 a month. Please let me know if you have any questions about that. I'm always happy to help. Also, make sure you guys check out Time Gear Watches, my smartwatch company. Check out Coinbase, you can get free cryptocurrency on there. Qcoin, you can get free cryptocurrencies there as well. Also, make sure you guys check out Robinhood, you can get a free stock for yourself and myself as well. But thanks a lot for watching today's video. Have a great weekend, people. I got money to making, you got money to making. See you guys next time for another video. Peace.
Game over.